What's going on, everybody? This is the TheGameHuntah channel with another episode of Star Wars Commander Empire. Let's continue our adventure to dominate the universe, right? Okay, so in this episode what we're gonna do is the following. There's a unit. Yes, there is a unit that we used to hate a lot, okay? Actually, we changed the name of this unit probably in episode 14. We used to call the Shock Troopers because, to be quite honest, they used to suck, but now they can also clear traps. A lot of people probably didn't know about this. The vanguard of the rebels can do exactly the same, but now the shock troopers can also destroy traps, and that is super important. That can make the whole difference on the battlefield. Alright, so in this episode we're gonna do a couple attacks. I'm gonna try to use the shock trooper so I can show you how effective it is on offense. Alright fellas, let's go. Alright, let's give it a shot to this base, which is, it's gonna be trouble. We got a sentinel high level in there. And I can guarantee you that in front of this base it's probably a bunch of traps. So we're gonna use first of all a stormtrooper in there to start destroying the headquarters. Okay, this actually letting us destroy the headquarters super easy. In the meantime, we're gonna deploy a shock trooper, and here we go. The shock trooper already detect one of the traps, and that is exactly what we want. We're gonna put the heavies in here. Shock trooper is destroying the walls and destroy one of the traps. I'm sure he already detected another one. By cleaning that one in front of me, it makes a huge difference already. Huge difference. Alright, let's deploy a couple of stormtroopers now to support my troops. And then we need to wait for that droideka sentinel to come over here, right? One more time, shock troopers is detonating a couple of the traps, which is helping me big time at this point. Alright. I think that our friend droideka is gonna show up on any second. Perfect. So let's use a couple of snipers. Sweet. I'm gonna use our droideka too. Let's see if with the sentinel we can take care of this guy as soon as possible. Hey, well, the Gamorrean warriors, which is actually it's becoming one of my favorite units all the time. Now that I upgrade the Gamorrean soldiers, they do a good job now. Really good job against any defenses, because there's a lot of rocket turrets in the rebel bases. So these guys can actually take the hit big time. Look at these guys in the middle of the base, just fighting against a couple of the rocket turrets and doing a decent job. I'm not using any we're gonna probably no, I'm not gonna use any ships or fighters in this one, just to show you how cool this is. Right, it's working really well. The shock trooper is still alive, my savior. This guy keep detonating traps everywhere. Probably there's another traps in that area, and actually that's what I want to see, so I can show you. Oh, I can't believe this guy survived. That was amazing. We got a really decent loot. The shock trooper did a decent job detonating one of the traps that actually saved a couple of stormtroopers. Alright fellas, let's go to the next attack. Alright, let's go to against another base level 9, which is could be a big pain in the neck. But let's see where we can start this attack. Guessing probably from this area, but we're gonna use first a shock trooper. Oh, there's no traps in this area. Interesting. Let's put it in this area. Oh, all the traps are inside. Okay, careful. Okay, that's actually a good sign for me. That means that I can deploy my units without any problems, because we are not at risk at all, unless one of the traps or most of the traps are inside. If the shock troopers start targeting the headquarters, that means that there's traps. I mean, there's either no traps or yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah, cool, good to know. All right, Gamorrean power one more time. Let's see if we can get into this base. There you go. We don't have any traps in this area, so we should be okay to get over here and destroy this base. Alright, Gamorreans are doing a really good job taking the hit, and that's what is more important than anything. Remember, all the vehicles of the Empire, they die in 2 seconds against the rocket turrets. Well, not the Gamorreans. Those guys are still fighting over there, destroying the mortars. Look at that. Every single one are still alive. That gives enough time for my AT-AT to get close to the shield generators. I don't know. For some reason, it's working really well for me. The Gamorreans probably is one of the units that I wasn't really expecting to use. But surprise, surprise, it's working really well for the Empire. Alright, let's see if we can finish this. Give me more resources. Well, there's not much. There's not really much over here. Alright, so the headquarters is gonna go down, and that will do it for this battle. Not too bad. And one more time, well, you saw the shock trooper start targeting right away the headquarters. That means that it wasn't any traps in the vicinity or in the outside of the base, which I'm surprised. Probably somebody already attacked this player, and maybe all the traps are just inactive. So that's why we couldn't find any single one. But that's one of the strategies that you can use. Shock trooper, super useful. Okay, let's go for another attack. All right, let's go against this really annoying rebel base. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get inside, but what we're gonna do one more time is deploy the shock trooper. Yeah, shock trooper already detect one of the traps, which is great. And in the meantime, we can get the rest of the troops ready to roll. Perfect. We already know that that trap is not gonna be a problem. We already destroyed one. Working on it. Perfect. One of the traps is down. We can keep moving forward. I don't have any stormtroopers in this attack, so let's see what happens. three traps already completely disabled. That is the beauty of the shock troopers. Another trap went down, and that is exactly what we're looking for. You see, all my troops are safe. My heavy cannon's doing a really stupid job right now, moving all over the place. But my shock troopers completely clean the road for the rest of my army. Look at that. How many traps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Wow. Completely destroy that area. And I'm sure there's traps in the other side. But look how important they are right now. I mean, in the past, we used to, like I said, I used to hate those guys because they're so ineffective. Now, they're critical. They're critical when you attack a base and you know that in one section of the base is going to be full of traps. I will always recommend you now to add at least one shock troopers. That way you know right away where the traps are located. My AT-AT veteran is getting a little bit crazy, doing some dancing in there. I don't know what you're doing, my friend. Let's see if we can finish and take care of most of the loot. There is plenty of loot in here. There is no stormtroopers because I decided to do the piggies. But apparently these guys, the AT-AT decide to just dance and do some looting job. One more time. I don't know why, dude. I don't know why you're doing that. What about destroying the headquarters so you can give me the second star? That would be good. I will appreciate that. But no, look at this guy. He's walking around, not even destroying the important buildings. Nothing. He just walk around doing absolutely nothing. AT-AT, what's wrong with you again? Are you kidding me? Headquarters was right in front of you. Anyway, alright, what is important about this is one more time how critical are the shock troopers again in any player's army. Highly recommended to at least have one in your army. That's gonna save you a lot of headaches. Trust me in that one. Alright fellas, this is the Game Hunter. We'll see you in the next episode, Star Wars Commander Empire. Take care everybody.